Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen. I am Friendship Pearson and welcome to my channel. It is Saturday, happy Saturday, March 7th of 2026. And it's 10:09 and it's perfect. 10:09. I was born on 10:09. Oh, now it says 10:10. Well, almost. Well, people, I want to start out by saying thank you for everything you guys have done over the years. And we're going to endure until the Lord comes, okay? I want to just go straight into it and say thank you, Jesus. Today's video, I'm going to talk about the golden age and that it could possibly start on 3/9, that is March 9th of 2026, and you'll see why. First of all, they had the homegoing of Jesse Jackson yesterday, Now, I wrote about Jesse Jackson, how he defended Andrew Young back in the day in the Middle East, okay? This was way back in the day, August 31st, 1979, okay? In this here, I talk about the New World Order, okay? Then I also had articles I did back in the day, what happened in Iran, as you can see. March 14th, 1980. And then I did subsequent videos, subsequent articles back in the day, like October 1979, talking about the New World Order. Well, people, all that, and the last 3 to 4 days, I have been researching a video that I did a few days ago about Biggie Smalls, because both Pete Hegseth, who is in charge of the Department of War, and the Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, they have both quoted from Biggie Smalls from the song Juicy, quote unquote, if you don't know, now you know. Now, I found that very out of character with these politicians for them to quote a rapper like that. I will get into that. I just want to set the basis. Now, they call Biggie Smalls the Notorious B.I.G. I've come to the conclusion that one aspect of Notorious B.I.G. is the USS Abraham Lincoln. I want you to wrap your mind around it. Notorious B.I.G., I have concluded, means the USS Abraham Lincoln. Notorious B.I.G. has got to be that ship. They do future past, so just work with me. When you're notorious, you're a bad boy, right? Okay. Now, Ronald Reagan is the first mega. He's the 40th president. Trump is the second mega. Make America Great Again. I told you, I call it a side hustle. I'm going to show you what that's about. And then there are 20 people who prayed with Donald Trump in the Oval Office. So let's kick it. Let's get involved. Let's just start, okay? Because I have a lot of material. Don't want to make this too long. Here you have, I believe this is Paula White. Paula White, it's a total of 20 people praying with Donald Trump. Let me count again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 20 people total. 20 people praying over Donald Trump. Okay, here we go.
Of our president. We pray for your continued blessing and favor to rest upon him. We pray for wisdom from heaven to flood his heart, his mind, and Lord, you will guide him in these challenging times that we're facing today. I pray for your grace and your protection over him. I pray for your grace and protection over our troops and all of our men and women serving in our armed forces. And Father, we just pray you continue to give our president the strength that he needs to lead our great nation as we come back to one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So again, we have 20 people total, 20 people. The 20th letter of the alphabet is T, like Trump. 20 people. T is the 20th letter of the alphabet, okay? Now, Paula White, she's got on red and black. She stands out. You know I teach the 5 C's of clues, codes, colors, the comprehension, time, and conclusion. Red and black means disaster, death, destruction, sacrifice, okay? She's got on red and black. Now, over here you have Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan. There's no other picture in this, but Ronald Reagan. Now, let's begin to decode this. I do need to add this though. We have Abraham Lincoln, and I believe George Washington, and all that's going to be in my decode. Okay, so let's start with Reagan. I wanted to minimize what I did, but anyway, Reagan was the first mega. Ronald Reagan was the first mega. Make America great again. He was the first one to do that, okay? Trump is the second. Ronald Reagan's birthday, look at his birthday, February 6th, 1911. His death date is June 5th, 2004. June 5th, 2004. So look, here he is, Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, the 40th president, okay? Now let's look at these numbers. It's not going to be about numbers, so don't run. June 5th, 2004 is, again, his death date. June 5th, 2004. This video is going to be fascinating. June 5th, 2004, right there, subtracted from the day that they prayed with him in the Oval Office. The difference is 79:44. From the day that the first mega died, Ronald Reagan, to the day they prayed with him is 79:44. Trump is 79 years old. And 44, Barack Obama is the 44th president. I'm gonna say it again, because this video is gonna blow you guys' mind. From the death of Ronald Reagan, which I showed you, June 5th, 2004, to the time they prayed with Trump in the Oval Office, Trump is 79 years old. And Barack Obama is the 44th president. This is why I'm telling you, 3-9 could be it. From the time I start researching the New World Order, the Golden Age, whatever you want to call it, till 3-9, I'm going to show you. That could be it. 79, and then Barack Obama, to me that means one cancels out the other. As above, so below. You'll see. You'll see. Now, I brought up the point that now that Iran has hit other countries, there'll be less sympathy for them in the war. So that when Trump drops the big one, or whoever drops the big one, they'll have the court of public opinion in their favor. Now listen, Iran is apologizing for hitting all these other countries. Listen.
Now, the Iranian president has apologized to his country's neighbors and has promised to stop carrying out strikes against them unless Iran is targeted by attacks that are launched from their territory. Masoud Pezeshkian appeared in a pre-recorded speech on state television this morning, where he also addressed President Trump's demand that Tehran should surrender unconditionally to the US.
They should take the dream that we surrender unconditionally to their grave. What we are committed to are international law, human frameworks, and the principles they talk about. They should be committed to those principles. They can't ignore the rights of any country, including Iran. I should apologize to the neighboring countries that were attacked by Iran on my own behalf. What happened was that our commanders and our leader lost their lives following barbaric aggression, and our armed forces, the champions that are sacrificing their lives to defend our territorial integrity, fired at will because their commanders were absent and did whatever was necessary. They proudly...
So they're apologizing, saying, hey, the commanders was just all over the place, firing at will, okay? Will they do it again? Now, I did a video in relation to that in the car a few days ago. That's what I said. You got other governments who are looking at this thing side-eye, saying, wait a minute, really? Because you got a monetary aspect, like I said in my last video, and the Gulf of Hormuz, where 20% of the oil comes through, and People want their money to be flowing in, and they don't want it to escalate. Although, let's keep it real. Those who are making the weapons, they blinging right about now. Okay, just put it out there. But back to my premise. It's not going to look good if America flattens Iran unless they get world opinion. They get world opinion that, hey, you know what? Iran's all over the place. They hit all these places. Let me read you another one. So Iran hit 10, even the British Prime Minister that's in this video, he said, look, I didn't want to get involved, but now you're hitting our allies as well. See, they got to justify the bigger hit later on. The first one was Operation Midnight Hammer on June 22nd, 2025. The second one was, February 28th. 3 strikes will be coming up, but they got to get world opinion first. So they're apologizing now, Iran, but hey, trust me, that's where it's going. Now, the next move is this. I said a few days in a live video 2 months ago. 2 months ago, when our Secretary of State quoted Biggie Smalls. Listen. Thought into this Maduro thing. And you got to see that 90% of the video, you couldn't hear anything. I kept working with it and it finally came on. So this is just what I go through. So I must have made some people mad. But let me, I want to share with you guys the video, a 1 minute or a 2 minute video of what I did. I did a short. And what's going on here? Let me throw this at you right off the bat. I believe that the Secretary of State gave us a clue right off the bat. Somebody said, if you don't know, now you know. I don't know if you guys heard that. If you were watching your other feed while you were watching mine. But the Secretary of State, Rubio, he said, when you mess with America, you got to understand, it's like a new sheriff in town. I'm paraphrasing. Other presidents, other American leaders talk a good game, but this American president, he comes through. When he says he's going to do something, listen to him. And if you don't know, now you know. So I went and I Googled something because many of you guys know that this statement, if you don't know, now you know.
What exercise does to aging muscles.
This is a muscle killer.
Okay, let's go. That was made famous by Notorious B.I.G. Notorious B.I.G. put that out. Many of you all, if you know that, give me a thumbs up. Notorious B.I.G. said that. Okay? I want you to look at his death date. See the death date of Notorious B.I.G.? March 9th. March 9th, 1997 is the death date of Notorious B.I.G. March 9th. They speak in code. They give you clues. I've been doing this since like 17. Still some things get past me, but I want you to look at this. This here is the anniversary of the death of Notorious B.I.G. 3/9/2027. Next year will be his birthday. Today, 1/3/2026. The difference is 6/14. What is 6/14? That's Trump's birthday. In my mind, that's not coincidence. Again, Notorious B.I.G. He's the one that said, if you don't know, now you know. It's in the song Juicy. His birthday, his death date is March 9th, 2027 anniversary. Today is January 3rd, 2026. So as you can see, I did this 2 months ago. Now let me just continue. Now, one of the other biggest clues, Marco Rubio. He was acting like a rapper. He said something that a rapper said back in the day. Many of y'all might not know, but some of y'all, I'm sure y'all do know. Baby, baby, Biggie Smalls. Watch, he's gonna give us a clue, allegedly. If you don't know, now you know. He's gonna say it. And I want you to hear it. And I decoded it live on my live. I want you to hear it.
Well, I don't have much to add to what you've heard now, other than the following points. Nicolas Maduro was indicted in 2020 in the United States. He is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. That's not just us saying it. The first Trump administration, the Biden administration, the second Trump administration, none of those three recognize him. He's not recognized by the European Union and multiple countries around the world. He is a fugitive of American justice with a $50 million reward, which I guess we say $50 million. And make sure. Yeah, exactly. But don't let anybody claim it. Nobody deserves it but us. But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolas Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple, very, very, very generous, and chose instead to act like a wild man. Chose instead to play around, and the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following: you have a guy, like many people around the world that like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all the time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when he tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this, we're going to take... This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out, and I think people need to understand. If you don't know, now you know. He went get... If you don't know, now you know. Now, Pete Hegseth, he said it.
Underneath mountains. Last June, Operation Midnight Hammer obliterated their nuclear program to rubble. Afterward, we told them plainly, that's it, now make a deal. They arrogantly refused. We said, rebuild it, and we'll stop you again, this time far worse. Well, President Trump, Secretary Rubio, Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, they bent over backwards for real diplomacy, offering pathway after pathway to peace. I watched it, I was there. They tried over and over and over again earnest attempts at peace. The former regime had every chance to make a peaceful and sensible deal. But Tehran was not negotiating. They were stalling, buying time to reload their missile stockpiles and restart their nuclear ambitions. Their goal, hold us hostage, threatening to strike our forces. Well, President Trump doesn't play those games. And as Secretary Rubio said after the Maduro raid, if you don't know, now you know.
So now he said it. And the wheels in my brain got to going like, hey, what's really going on? Okay, so I want to show you something. I'm going to shout out to Mark Allison. I'll put the link in there. Mark Allison showed a clock that Iran had out. Okay?
3 days, 4 weeks. Iran comes out with a countdown timer. Iran posted a timer, a countdown timer. And this was, he posted this, but it was actually on the 1st, same time Trump. And here it is.
Ron just posted a mysterious countdown timer on X, and it has many people wondering, what does this mean? It starts by showing a watch with the time at 1:20 and goes
120, the countdown. I'm going to be doing a video on this tomorrow.
So the watch said 120. I took it literally. 120. Inauguration was January 20th, 2025. May 9th, 2026, when I think the golden age could very well possibly start, gives you 414. What is 414? Well, back in the day, on 414, that's when Abraham Lincoln was shot, 414. And at 7:22 a.m. on April 15th is when Abraham Lincoln died. All right, let's scurry on. We'll build this up. Here's Notorious B.I.G. I already told you I believe the Notorious B.I.G. is the USS Abraham Lincoln. Okay? Now, his full name is Christopher, like Christ, George, like George Orwell. I'm sorry, George, like George Washington, our first president. Latour, and Wallace. So I've given you Notorious B.I.G. and his full name, Christopher George Latour Wallace. You see his birthday, May 21st, death day, March 9th. That's coming up in 2 days. Could they be hinting when they said twice, they quoted the song Juicy, if you don't know, now you know. Are they trying to tell us something? Now, Biggie was born in New York, okay? So check it out. George Washington, his birthday is February 22nd, 1732. Where they got Biggie Smalls' birthday and death date. March 9th, 1977. March 9th, 1997. March 9th, 1997. Big Papa, Christopher Wallace, Biggie Smalls died. June 22nd, 2025, that's when we bombed Iran. The difference is 28 years and 316. What is 316? John 3:16, Jesus' sacrifice. Is there a sacrifice coming? February 22nd, 2026, anniversary of George Washington's birthday. May 21st, 2026. May 21st, 2026 is the anniversary of the birthday of Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls anniversary birthday from February 22nd. George Washington. The difference is 88. Remember Trump's text number. Trump's text number is 88022. And you'll see. Now, I got to give you guys perspective. Trump's mother's name was Mary. Trump's mother's name was Mary. Trump's father's middle name was Christ. Frederick Christ. Trump's father's name was Frederick Christ. So you got Christ and you got Mary. They give a birth, right? I've done a lot of videos on it. Now, in this video on 6/22/2024, a year before we dropped the bomb on Iran, on the same day, 6/22, Trump was at Nixon Tony's Steakhouse, and they showed a picture of Jesus on the window. Imagine a limo driving up, and he's lined up just right, and there's a billboard across the street, and a photograph of Jesus is on the window, and also a cross, like a crucifixion. Watch. See? See, that's Jesus on the window. It's right there. Then when they close it up, you see a cross. It's kind of hard to tell, so I'll put this link in the description as well. You see Jesus, you see Jesus, and you see a cross. In other words, sacrifice. Remember, Trump's parents' name, Jesus on the window, and then there, like I said, there's a cross as well. So you literally see Jesus. And like I said, then you see a cross. That's the picture of Jesus, right? But that's not on the window. I'm just giving you an example of what it looks like. And then there's a cross. There's a cross on the window. Barely see it. There's a cross. There's a cross. There's a cross. So you'll be able to check this out when I put this link in the description. You'll see it. Now, the Notorious B.I.G. Notorious B.I.G., that's what he was called. Come out to 722. Abraham Lincoln took his last breath at 7:22 a.m. Now, the USS Gerald Ford, the other ship that's out there, it was commissioned on 7/22. Look at that, of 2017. What are the odds? President Donald John Trump, 4547, ready to die. If you don't know, now you know. I put all that in the gematria calculator right there. Right there. Everything's there. And it come out to 312. What is 312? Trump beat Kamala Harris by 312 votes. Also back in the day, Constantine, the emperor, he got rid of the pagan gods and he brought in Christianity in 312. See, look at it, 312. President Donald John Trump, 4547, ready to die. If you don't know, now you know, comes out to 312. See, they're bringing it back. When he leaves, he's just going off stage, that's all, so don't panic. 312. See, they're telling you in the past what was going on. Now, here you go.
Cross.
Let me come out of this and go back into it.
October 27th, 312. Constantine the Great receives his vision of the cross. On this date, Constantine the Great is said to have received his vision of the cross before a crucial battle. This event marked a turning point in Christian history, symbolizing divine support and faith's triumph. Verse 1 Corinthians 15:57. But thanks be to God who gives us the victory through our Lord Jesus Christ. Meaning, this verse reminds us that true victory comes from God. Just as Constantine found strength in divine support, we are encouraged to trust in our faith.
So that was in 312. He got rid of the pagan gods and brought in Christianity on 312. It's always been a tug of war in Rome. That's what we're in. We're going to phase out of the Roman Empire and go into the Egyptian with Obama and Kamala Harris. Now let me show you some pictures right quick because I want to break this thing down some more. That's the Iranian clock I broke down a little while ago. January 20th. I have unconditional surrender. President Donald John Trump, 4547, 3/6/2029, came out to 713. Unconditional surrender. Remember July 13, 2012? I'm sorry, July 13, 2024, they said Trump got hit in the ear in Butler, Pennsylvania. Came out to 713. July 13, 2024, that's when Trump got hit in the ear, they said. Unconditional surrender, President Donald John Trump, 4547, 3/6/2026. The next one I have is Christopher George Latour Wallace. That's Biggie Smalls. Ready to die. If you don't know, now you know. Look at that. That comes out to 4788. 47 is Trump, and then there's 88. Trump's text number is 88022. Could it be on 3/9? They're going to play this out in relation to Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls' death anniversary is 2 days from now on 3/9. Christopher George Latour Wallace, his full name, Ready to Die, is the name of the album that this song was on. If you don't know, now you know, is one of the records on there. Juicy. Come out to, again, 4788. Then here's another one. President Donald John Trump, 4547, Ready to Die. If you don't know, now you know. That, yeah, came out to 312. We did that one already. And Notorious B.I.G., we did that one already, right? 722. Okay, so let's wrap this up. April 1st, 79. That's when Iran took the name Iran. April 1st. April 1st, 79. Iran took the name Iran. March 9th, 2026. The new sun god, the new Make America Great is over with, and bringing in the new world order could start that day. That's 46 and 49. 46, JFK died at 46 years old. 49, Kamala Harris is the 49th vice president. I believe she's coming back. All right, people, that's it. Again, look for 3/9. 3/9 in 2 days, we can start the golden age. I'm not saying it's 100%, but I've been working on this thing for a long time. It appears they gave us a clue. If you don't know, now you know.